Welcome back, everyone. Time to talk Jaguars football. Frangie with you as we welcome in the head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars, Urban Meyer. Urban, thanks for joining us. I got to ask you, with all the sponsor stuff and drafting players and hiring coaches, coaches love to coach. How did it feel to have the whistle around your neck and to be back out there today?
Well, it felt great. Obviously, it's our second day, and I took a moment yesterday. It was like, wow, when you jogged on the field, and I remember talking to Shelley about it. So it's been a few years, and all of a sudden you jog on the field, and you're seeing these great players jogging out there. So it was awesome, and plus it's Jacksonville, Florida, so it felt great. 18
players is unusual, and I'm thinking, back in the day they let workout players or more of them come. My first thought is, can you get as much done? But then I think, well, maybe you get a better look at some of these guys. How do you feel about the 18 players, and what are you trying to get accomplished in this mini camp?
Yeah, we probably went a little bit too hard yesterday, and so we backed off today, and how much there's some guys you can tell we're training very hard since their pro day. Other guys haven't. And, since the draft, et cetera. So we're trying to be as smart as we can. The most important thing right now is to, get them in shape so they can practice at the tempo that we expect. Urban, they're not there. There's some that are, but most are not.
Yeah, I get it. The league's at a tough spot now. In the past, voluntary workouts have been very well attended, but there has been, and there's been pushback now from the union, maybe more than ever before. How do you feel about that? How do you mitigate that? How do you think that thing plays out?
Well, I challenge our staff every day. We're trying to make that the best in the NFL, and so that's a tall task. There's some people who've been doing this a long time, but I've had so many players in the NFL share with me that it's really not what they'd expect. It's not like it is in college, where if the weight room's open only a couple hours a day, you don't have trainers that give you all the above and beyond that you expect, and we're doing all that, and so our numbers were outrageous compared to everyone else, and I told our sports performance team we're being tested. So if we give them a good product, they'll come back. If they don't, we won't. I don't understand why a professional athlete has to pay $15,000, $20,000 to go train somewhere else and maybe not have the greatest nutrition. And the great thing is we're in 904. We're in Jacksonville, and I'm hoping to make this a destination place where our players are here all the time. And that might be a big dream, but that's my dream.
Urban Meyer with us talking Jaguars football. All right, we saw Trevor out there. Now, I'm not sure what he can do with the rehab. He's throwing. So are there so many throws he can make? What do you want to do with him as he continues to rehab that labrum? What do you not want to do with him? Where does he stand, Urban?
Well, we had a good conference call with Dr. Kaplan, our orthopedic, and a real good conversation after they gave him his recheck after he was here. And the labrum is healed. After 3 months, it's healed. And so it's been 3 months. The biggest thing is you can't have a setback. And a setback would be really contact. So he's no handoffs, no direct snap from center. But he can really throw the ball. We're just being smart. We're going 30 to 40 pitch count. That will increase as he's here. And we're taking a very cautious approach. But the biggest thing is you can't be on the ground.
I guess, yeah. So the right arm's fine, protect the left arm. Makes all the sense. I got to ask you about Travis Etienne. So I saw he's lined up in the slot a little bit today. I was thinking about this when I'm watching. You won a national championship here with Deshaun Wynn, who's 230 and can run through a wall. 2 years later, you won one with Jeff Demps, who's a little guy that runs 100 miles an hour. Do you have a preference? Do you like a faster guy that you can use a lot of different ways? Where are you on that?
I think that you need compliments. I just love great backs. And at Ohio State, we had Zeke Elliott, Carlos Hyde, and right now we have James Robinson, who is a stud. Yeah. And you have Carlos Hyde, who I have a great history with. So we have two big downhill backs, and they can do other things too. But I think Travis he's that dual. He's the Percy. We're hoping. I mean, that's a big shoes to say something like that. But you got Paris Campbell, you had Curtis Samuel, those type of players. Offense coordinators love those kind of guys who can do multiple things.
This has not been a fast team, Urban. They're 1-15 last year. Team speed's been a thing. Your teams have always been fast. So you sign Agnew and Dorsett and Jones, and you draft Travis, who can really run, and Tyson Campbell. Was that a big thing? Do you feel like you've mitigated some of that as best you can with free agency and the draft here?
I think development, too. DJ Chark is really fast.
Yeah. And
Laviska's fast. And we just got to play faster.
Right.
What your comment is correct, but fast isn't always necessarily 40-yard dash time. I remember a guy one time telling me at Utah, this guy's name was actually John Robinson. We're getting ready. He's at UNLV, and we walk out on the field. He goes, "That's the fastest team." I remember coaching and I'm thinking, wait a minute, we only have one guy that runs under 4.5.
Wow.
So it's more how you play than the actual 40-yard. We got to play fast. Obviously, we've signed a couple. We've developed a few. Now we just got to play fast.
It's a great point because your teams have. Does tempo in practice affect that? Do you have a certain tempo in practice, and does that affect teams playing fast? And to that end, how much of that can you get done right now with these rookies? Not
much. You can't do that right now. The tempo, quite honestly, is awful. You got 18 guys. If we went to tempo, we're going to go at, there would have been guys passed out on the field, and we're not trying to do that. We want to just learn the offense, learn the culture. But everything you're saying is correct. If you want to play, playing fast falls in a lot of categories. Actually, the ball snapped, you play fast. Up-tempo plays where the offense is moving at a good speed, and that's very important. It's always been important to me.
Tim Tebow's in the news, obviously. You've been asked about him a lot, but I'm almost remiss if I don't. Do you have a timetable on when you want to address that or where you are with your staff or with Tim on that?
Yeah, this is a big staff, involvement. This is not, this is something that I'm leaning on the experts. Can a guy like Tim or any other free agent or someone we bring in, can they help us win? And we have 2 tight end slots open. We try to have 7. We only have 5 right now. And so that's a position that was not strong last year, but O'Shaughnessy's been doing great in the offseason. This guy named Tyler Davis has been doing great. Mm-hmm. We drafted Lou Farrell. We signed Chris Manhurst in the free agency. So we're addressing it, but we're going to have to get 2 more tight ends in the organization.
All right, final thing here, and I appreciate your time. I really do, Urban. It goes so fast. You take the job and you hire coaches and you draft and now you got to buy a house. I assume you got to sell a house. Have you settled in at all? Is Shelly here? Are you happy? Can you breathe yet, or is it too early to breathe? How does that work?
Yeah, it's a whole different world when you're just empty nest. I don't wish that on anybody because we love our kids and grandkids, but it's just Shelly and I, so it's been seamless compared to schools. And we first moved to Gainesville, and my son's I think 7 years, whatever he was,
right.
And your whole focus is your kids and moving and getting them out of school. And this was just Shelly and I. So yeah, we're settled in and everything's moving fast.
All right. Urban Meyer, the coach of the Jaguars, got a lot to do. Rookie minicamp at day 2. Urban, thanks so much for spending some time, man. We appreciate it.
Look forward to talking to you again.
Okay. Urban Meyer, the Jacksonville Jaguars head coach.